What's going on, guys? This is Anthony with the RG Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a review on a Glock 22. This here particular Glock 22 is a second generation, full size, of course. It's in .40 caliber Smith & Wesson. And today during the review, I'm not really going to talk a whole lot about, a Glock and its primary role as a duty gun or as a self-defense piece. Really what I'm going to talk about today is just what the Glock is to me, and speak a little bit about the quality and the reliability and endurance of a weapon like this. First thing we're going to do is a quick field strip. This is real easy on the Glock. It's one of the easiest pistols they make today to field strip, so this should be real quick. First thing you're going to want to do is drop your magazine. You're going to push your magazine release button right here. Take out your magazine and check your chamber. Make sure that it's empty. As you can see, this Glock is indeed empty. So you're going to point in the safe direction, pull the trigger. Retract the slide about a quarter inch or so. Pull down both these levers that are on the side of the pistol. Slide will come right off. Slide off. You're going to take your captive recoil spring out. You'll remove your barrel. Barrel set to the side. And these are the 5 primary components that you have with your firearm when it's field stripped. You have your captive recoil guide rod. You have your barrel, slide, frame, and magazine. To reassemble this in the exact opposite order, just take the barrel, place it into the slide, take the guide rod, put the guide rod into a small notch that's here on the barrel leg, take your slide, put it back onto your frame, place your magazine if you wish, pull it back, locks to the rear, safe direction, pull the trigger, keeps the trigger in the rear position, lets you know that your gun's operational again. Now, a couple things I'm going to talk about the Glock has to do with the way that it comes factory. Now, the way a Glock comes factory, especially the second generation, I know there's third gens with the finger grooves, and it has a rail, of course, on the third and fourth, third gen, the RTF, and the fourth generation. But what we're going to talk about here is the second generation. When it comes from the factory, the grip is going to be completely smooth. It has like a pebbled texture type of to it, but it's no grip whatsoever on it. Of course, it has some plastic molded checkering in the back, lines on the top, and then square checkering, raised checkering on the back. On the front, it's more of that square checkering, but it doesn't really give you any kind of grip at all. Especially if your hands are sweaty, or if it's hot out, or if anything's going on, I guess blood, mud, whatever they want to call it, it'll make it so you don't get a good grip on your gun. So I went ahead and bought some skateboard tape from a skateboard shop. I didn't buy those grip kits that you put on your gun, because I don't see the point of paying, I don't know how much they are, anywhere probably from $10 to $20 for a grip kit, when I can go and buy a $6 strip of grip tape that'll do 5 or 7 different guns. So basically, I just went ahead and bought grip tape, put it on there. I cut it to the right sizes, and put it on my gun. All you really need to do is take like a alcohol, like a wound preparation swab, and clean off any oil that you put on there from your hands, so that the adhesive has something to grab a hold of. And I went ahead and stuck that on there, and now I got a real good grip on it. Basically, it's the same as the kits that they sell, but it only cost me $6 to do all my guns, so that's cool. Another thing that we're going to talk about with the Glock, one of my favorite things with the Glock is capacity. When you're talking about a .40 caliber gun, especially maybe give it 3 or 4 years ago, your average .40 caliber gun had anywhere from 10 to 12 or 14 rounds of .40 caliber. So if you went with a better caliber, or supposedly better caliber, you were stuck with a lower capacity. So when I first, my friend actually had a Glock, it might have been 3 or 4 years ago, and it was the first time I'd actually fired a Glock in .40 caliber, and he had a Glock that comes, of course, with 15 round magazines. It's the highest capacity that I'd seen at that time. So I kind of thought that was pretty cool, 15 rounds, which is your basic capacity in a early 90s to late 90s 9mm model pistol. Usually came with 15 rounds. So that was pretty cool. So I went ahead and got one. And I'll tell you what, I love having 15 rounds in a factory magazine to do what I need to get done. Another cool thing is that you can buy add-ons, like this particular magazine right here is a 15 round magazine, but it has a what in the 9mm magazine would be a +2 add-on. This is actually only a +1 add-on base plate. And this is painted camouflage because I have a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 that takes Glock magazines that is painted in the exact configuration, so this just blends in with the gun. But I just wanted to show you that this is a +1 add-on. I don't have any 15 round magazines with the +2 add-ons right now because I just don't really trust them that much, to tell you the honest God truth. So yeah, you basically get your 15 rounds, and then the +1 is your 16 rounds. This right here is a during the ban 10 round magazine. This actually came with my Kel-Tec when I first bought it. Well, one just like this came with my Kel-Tec. This is actually, if you look there, I don't think you can see it, but this is actually a 357 SIG magazine. So you get those as 10 rounds. You move up to this. This originally started its life as a 31 round magazine. Of course, I took the base plate off because I didn't like the base plate that came on it because it was a little loose, and I replaced it with a factory base plate from a regular factory Glock magazine. And now I'm actually looking at about 29 or 28 rounds. But I'm totally cool with that. I don't really care. 28 rounds is still plenty. And funnily enough, this magazine will not work in my Glock 22 at all. Okay. So then we go to the KCI brand 31 round magazines. This magazine will not work in my Glock 22. And then we go to Victory 31 round magazines. And this magazine also will not work on my Glock 22. This is also a Victory. So basically, unless they only work for Generation 3 or Generation 4 or the RTF frame models, these 31 round magazines are pretty much crap when it comes for Glock. So I would just recommend to stay away from them unless you have a Kel-Tec Sub 2000 in 40 caliber or in the 9mm if you happen to have a Glock 17. So these are basically garbage. So this is, if I didn't have my Kel-Tec Sub 2000, this is basically $100 worth of magazines that has just been wasted because I can't use them for my Glock. So we'll put those aside. So yeah, factory it comes with a great capacity, so I'm not really too worried about it. 15 round magazines to do the job. Glock has a 4.5 inch barrel. And man, to tell you the honest truth, this gun is extremely accurate, very accurate. I can do really nice groups. I mean, really nice groups from anywhere from 7 yards all the way up to 25 yards. I have no problem putting them on. The sights, which of course, right now I have our factory Glock 22, or factory Glock sights, which are just this outline in the dot. They work perfect. Fast acquisition. I don't think maybe they probably aren't very good for like 100 yard or 75 yard shooting or something like that. But I mean, honestly, a pistol's not very good for 100 or 75 yard shooting either. You can hit what you're aiming at, but it doesn't mean that you're going to hit exactly the spot you're aiming at. And a lot of times, shot placement is really what's going to make the difference in whether or not whatever you're shooting at, goes down. But really, I just use this for target practice. I like to carry it with me. It's light. It's only 26 ounces. 26 ounces without the magazine, 25 ounces, something like that, without the magazine. With the magazine in, it's not that much more. I think the mags weigh less than 3 ounces. And then fully loaded, the magazines weigh 11.6 ounces. So fully loaded, you're looking at a 30 some odd ounce gun, like 36 or something ounce gun. So it's not that bad. Especially when you think about 1911s, you're talking about starting with a 40 round magazine, with a 40 ounce gun. So there that goes. This gun is perfect for target shooting, for just general plinking, just for having fun, home defense. A lot of police departments use the Glock 22 as a duty weapon, so obviously it's good for law enforcement. I can't say really anything bad about the gun. I mean, it's a great gun. It really is. And when you do the modifications that needs to be done for it to suit your own personal needs, for it to be your own personal customized gun to exactly the way you want it, then I mean, The only thing that you could possibly think of maybe that you would want to add to a Glock is maybe, well, a Generation 3 Glock would already have the rail, but maybe a rail, a safety, like a manual safety, or a decocker. But personally, I don't want either, and I don't care if I have either, so that's the way that goes. Ammo for this gun's pretty expensive. Usually you're looking at maybe $14 or $13 for a box of cheap 40 caliber ammunition. You can get hollow points for 20 some odd dollars for a 20 or 25 round box of ammunition. Sometimes Walmart has Federal 135 grain jacketed hollow points for $22 for a box of 50, and that's a badass deal. That's a really good deal. But those 135 grainers, they really scream out of this gun. They print a little different than the regular 180 grainers, but they're a good round. But yeah, man, this gun is awesome. And you know, if I had to trade, if somebody offered to trade me their Generation 3 or their Generation 4 for this gun or the RTF, I would definitely tell them no. I don't care personally about the rail. I don't even really want a rail on there. This is smoother. It looks better to me. I always liked the look of the original Glock 17s, and a Glock 22 looks exactly the same. So this is my baby. I have a what is it? A Lone Wolf stainless steel 40 caliber. It's a match grade barrel for this. It's actually for, I believe, the Glock 35, which is the long slide Glock. I have that barrel for this gun. It extends about an inch past the end of the muzzle. It's very accurate as well. A lot of people say, well, you know, hey, they're way more accurate than a stock Glock barrel, or they're not nearly as accurate as the stock Glock barrel. And I haven't noticed any difference whatsoever, at all. No difference in accuracy. They even print almost exactly in the same spot for me, for my Glock. So I mean, I don't really care. One thing that I do like about that barrel is that it's an inch longer, so a little bit more than an inch longer, so you are gonna get a little more velocity out of your ammunition. So that's a good thing. That's always a good thing, to get more velocity. So yeah, I mean, customize it the way you want, do what you want with it, abuse it, use it, shoot it, whatever you want. It's gonna stand up to it. Haven't had any problems with this gun. I don't expect to have any problems with this gun. Someday in the future, maybe something will break, but thank God for Glock cheap factory replacement parts. It won't cost me an arm and a leg to get it fixed, and most likely I won't have to pay a gunsmith to do it, because Glocks are so easy to be worked on by the user. So yeah, this is a Glock 22, and that's my view on it, and I thank you guys for watching, and I hope y'all have a great day. Peace.